I got to catch up with Professor Barbara Fredrickson. She's like royalty of the positive psychology world. And you can certainly feel the effects of her research just being in her calming presence. Barbara is respected all around the globe. Even the Dalai Lama has invited her to share her research.
Now, you're one of the top researchers of positive psychology in the world. It's such an honour to have you here. So for the general public, can you tell us what positive psychology is?
Yeah, positive psychology is an acknowledgement that, our actions, our mindsets really contribute a lot to how well we feel in the world, our moods, our health, our sense of connection, and that those things aren't just random, that we can study what actions and what kinds of contexts support feeling well and alive and energized, as opposed to depressed and anxious and stuck.
So from your research, people can take what you've learned and apply it to their own lives as practical tools. So what are some of the tools you can share?
So one way that is possible to create a positive emotion out of thin air is by thinking about what part of your day or your life is a gift to be treasured. And that, a lot of times we just are too busy to focus on what's going right. Our minds are so drawn by the problems. But if we pause a little bit and think, oh, well, there's this great new person I met, or gosh, it's such a beautiful day and it's been cold for so long, or something small like that allows us to savor what's good in our life and feel what's good.
What other things would you suggest that we should implement?
Well, one of the most powerful ways to lift up our spirits or increase our positive emotions is connecting with others. And that kind of positive emotion that I like to say, we co-experience it with others. It's not just one person's good mood and the other person's good mood. We're feeling it together, and it binds us together. Even if it's with somebody that's just, made our great coffee and we've had a conversation with, before we go to the cash register. I mean, those micro moments of connection end up being so important for people's health, well-being, and our latest work suggests that it makes people more virtuous. It helps bring out the best in people, not just in that interaction, but for the rest of the day.
I guess a lot of us think that happiness means you need to be up, but would you say there's a lot more to it than that?
Yeah, and also happiness is such a big word. A lot of times it means that you just find your life to be satisfying and meaningful, and so it's not all about nonstop joy. And any emotion is by definition fleeting. It's like a wave that arises on an ocean and it dissipates. So really it's not about trying to feel up all the time. The science shows us is that it's not the duration of feeling uplifted or the intensity of it, but the frequency of mild uplift.
If you could give people one little piece of advice, I know it's a big question, what would be that one gold nugget you'd love to pass on?
I think we need to recognize that we have much more ability to sculpt our emotions and our well-being than we give ourselves credit for. Sometimes we think of our moods as like the weather, they just happen to us. And it's a really big shift in people's abilities and skill set when they realize, wait a minute, I get to choose as to whether this is going to ruin my day or not. I get to choose whether I can set this aside or find the good in it.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show.
Oh, it's been great to be here. Thank you.
In her own words, positivity doesn't just change the contents of your mind, it widens the span of possibilities that you can see. If you enjoyed that video, don't forget to like and subscribe so that we can keep you up to date with all our latest content.